Hello, ladies. Welcome to season two. Welcome to 2023. Welcome to the Awakened Woman. I am so glad to have you here and really excited to bring you an extensive podcast this year that is going to be perfect for you to overcome your doubts, overcome your overwhelm, overcome all of those limiting beliefs, those patterns, those triggers that hold you back. I bring to you real life experience of what's happened for me throughout mostly 2022, but in the lead up to this, to 2023, real life experience, real life practical advice on how to really find yourself and find the truest version of you. So thank you again for everybody who's new. Hello, everybody. My name is Claire Bird. I'm the identity coach here at Inspired Lifestyles, and I'm really proud to bring you the Awakened Woman. We are amazingly in season two, which is phenomenal. And you will have heard if you've caught up, we are probably, I think, up to our 12th episode. And of that, there's probably been 10 guests that have really blown my mind in terms of what caliber we've been able to bring to you as well. So as I bring you today's episode, it is the 5th of January and I have my boys home. So if there is some background noise that you hear, it is summer holidays here in Australia and I'm bringing you the real world. It is not always perfect. It will always be messy. It will always be whatever it is meant to be. But this is the world of Claire Burt, the world of Inspired Lifestyles and the Awakened Woman. So what is the Awakened Woman? In a nutshell, it is an extensive listening program for you for free. So it is a free resource. And within this resource and in the podcast, I bring along guests, I bring along insight, I bring along learnings, and it helps to really think about what is possible for you to break through all of the shackles as well. Now, what is really important is that you focus and you allow what's happening around you just to happen without it sinking in. So it's being in that feminine flow. And if you're someone like me who's come from the corporate world, or you are constantly feeling like you are in the doing mindset, which is a heavy masculine mindset, you're going to struggle a lot in just allowing feelings to come, especially if you're an empath, especially if you have the fear of inadequacy that is holding hands with disappointment. You are going to feel like it's your job to save everybody as well. So if you're a complex being like me, it is going to be difficult for you to start to loosen the reins a little bit, for you to not feel like it's your job to save everybody. Because what you're doing instead is you're running around like a headless chicken, creating this chaos, living in a world full of uncertainty, of in pain in some ways, and you're just reacting to the triggers, not actually responding to them in a way that is going to serve you. But that is the Awakened Woman. I am also the creator and the lead coach here at Inspired Lifestyles. And we do have programs, group coaching programs, that you will see pop up all over my socials. And there will be some that will spark some interest. The one that is going to be mostly around for you this year is going to be the Activated Woman, which is my 12-week holding your hand group coaching program, which is over 6 modules, and it's just fantastic. Group coaching is one of my favorite methods because I love the way that women come in feeling totally insecure, totally feeling like they're breaking apart, feeling like they're so alone, so broken, and they walk out being held with women that they've never met before and feel like they belong. And that is the Activated Woman. I then also have the Elite Woman, which is for my CEOs, that we're taking on the world, and I bring together my years of corporate management experience, and I really tell or show women that it is okay to be feminine, to be direct, but to be nurturing and still get everything that you want. So welcome in a nutshell to season 2. I'm kicking off episode 1, which is all about promises, okay, and why resolutions are doing nothing for the growth of the modern woman. If you are like me, you will have seen ads, Instagram messages, Facebook groups, stories, potions, lotions, all these things pop up telling you that summer bodies are made in winter, that you are not good enough if you haven't put down your exercise yet, if it's the 5th of January and you haven't been on 5 walks yet, if you haven't eaten 1,000 calories, if you haven't drunk 16 liters of water, if you are feeling like it is just constant bombardment of the usual crap, and the reason that your resolutions to either feel better, I want to take out of the equation the fact of losing weight, because that should not be your resolution. Your resolution should be, there shouldn't be any resolutions anyway. If you heard my chat earlier, you will have noted in a few episodes before, I actually don't believe in resolutions. It's all got to do with promises. So promise yourself that you will take care of you, that you will nourish you, that you will feed your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul with water, sunlight, good music, good books, good people. When you start to heal relationships, even if you have found that 2022 was feuding for you, perhaps if you were in a massive disconnect either with friends or with relationships, which I found myself within, it takes a lot for you to heal those before you can move on. So when you set promises to yourself, it feels like it has a lot more weight to it than a resolution. Okay, a resolution is just something that is a gimmick and similar to Hallmark cards or a Facebook ad. Daily promises and monthly promises, weekly habits, whatever it may be, is something that you should do. And the only way it helps modern women is because it starts to break down the overwhelm. Now, if you are already heightened, if you are already stressed, if you are already overwhelmed, creating a resolution is only going to add to that, because it's something else you need to do. It's something else you're not already doing. You're not good enough. You're not skinny enough. You're not tall enough. Your skin's not clear enough. Blah, 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 blah. Bikini doesn't look right on you. Whatever it may be that is inside your head is a story you need to let go of. You need to let go of scarcity mindset. You need to let go of inadequacies. You need to let go of the fact that you must control every situation and every person in it. Make that your resolution. Because once you start mending that, you start to feel free. You start to feel feminine. You start to feel, and when I say, ladies, when I mean feminine, I mean feminine flow. You feel you're nurtured. You feel you are being collaborative, creative, sexy. It's not sitting in an apron with makeup on, yeah? So when you start making promises to yourself, it is imperative that they come from a place of where you don't want to be. You must, before you set a resolution, draw a baseline feeling, so that you know where you don't want to go back to. Now, as a survivor and as someone who constantly deals with burnout, triggers, anxiety, depression, high functioning anxiety, I know that my triggers are never, ever going away. My fears don't go away. I get better at responding to the triggers that are there. So part of my promises is that I need to get out of my headspace every day, because I fall back into that overwhelm constantly. So what do I do? Ladies, my daily promises, my weekly promises are really, really simple, and they're no-brainers, because if you have to think about it, it's not really something you should be doing. So my daily promises are is that I move my body. Now, I'm not a runner. I wish I was, but I am not. So I move my body. I do Pilates. I will go for a walk, whether it's playing basketball or footy or cricket with the kids in the front yard, but I make sure I get my steps up and I am moving my body for at least about 30 to 40 minutes a day. I also drink 2 liters of water every day, because my skin needs it. My lips are dry. My hair might start getting dry. My body just feels better for it. So I drink my 2 liters of water every day. I write. I'm a massive advocate that women must journal. And if you don't know how to journal, then please contact me ASAP, because I have the Golden Journal Project, which will run, I haven't checked the dates, but it's probably going to be a date in February. And it is a 2-hour session with me. And we learn how the fundamentals of journaling and how do we get out of our heads. So every woman must journal. I get sunlight. Okay. I get sunlight and air, and then I try and read. Now, because I am in the world of personal development and coaching and energetics, I read fiction. I find that I prefer listening to motivation rather than reading. So I will listen to my podcasts, my mentors, and get involved in my group chats and audio listening. But to escape, I create imagination via reading, and that is through fiction. So they are the 5 fundamentals of what I try and do each and every day. The reality is that I'm probably not going to pick up that book. I might do it 2 or 3 times a week, but at least I am hitting the 4. And that is going to help my mental clarity, my mental health, my energetics, the presence as a mother, presence as a wife to create passion, to create intimacy. Once I start feeling better, I start giving more. And once I start giving more, I'm setting the tone of how I want people to treat me. We're going to cover this a lot. I'm going to cover energetics a lot this year because as a part of the activated woman, it is covers 2 of my modules. So it is all about the wounded feminine and feminine energetics and why we are so far away from hitting that benchmark now in the pursuit of doing everything and having it all. Us as modern moms and women, we have moved further away from the needle of feminine energetics than we ever have. And I'm here as an identity coach to help women break that barrier and get back to that point where we can have it all and still feel taken care of, where we can have it all and still feel like we can rely on people. Because I know that is where I used to fall into the trap of me having to do it all and feeling like I'm the only one meant I felt I couldn't rely on people. It was just that I was creating a wall. So that is a massive, massive part of what we go through within the activated woman. And it is only a cornerstone or one of the 6 pillars that we discuss. But as we digress from talking about promises, when we start to really make it a priority, what else changes? It's about creating healthy habits with yourself. It's about creating healthy habits and standards that your kids see. Now, when I was in corporate world and I wasn't present, and when I was in the corporate world working crazy hours and having people do things and chase the kids around for me, I really had a disconnect in the relationship of what I was raising with my boys. And they knew that mum was just always busy, was probably not going to be around very often. Whereas now, it's totally different. Now they are much more likely, as you would have heard in the background at the start of this episode, they will butt into conversations. If you are watching me on Insta and on my socials, you will see them pop up throughout every live that I do because they understand that this is what I do now and it's really awesome. But that is the priority for us. That is a promise that I make so that I am present with my kids because they need to see, and that creates that sense of safety and certainty that is a human need, that I am with them, that I will be silly, that I don't care if I've got no makeup on, that I don't care if my hair is being held together with the tiniest of bulldog clips or little hair clips today. They don't care about any of that stuff. They just want mum. Okay. And when I give them that, everything changes. So when you start to prioritize and promise presence and true presence, everything changes. Now, if you're doing that for your kids, what would happen if you did the same priority of presence and passion and love to your husband or your partner? What magic can you create there? If you decided to physically, emotionally, spiritually be present for 30 minutes at the end of your day together, even if you don't have to talk and you're just watching something on TV, imagine that magic. Imagine just holding hands. Imagine just sitting closer together. Imagine sharing a tub of ice cream. Those are the promises you should be making because they have the most profound differences. Okay. Promises of superficial rubbish are going to add more fire and flame to a relationship, not in the best passionate way. Okay. When you stop and you strip it back and you just be at the core of who you were when you were dating, that's what's important. That's the promise I want you guys to go back to. I understand it feels difficult. I understand the exhaustion life has at the moment. For those that have been following on, the chaos that is around Claire Burt. And for those of my clients who have had the inner sanctum knowledge, you'll know the chaos that was in my life, the tumultuous 2022 and how I've managed to come back the other side. And I teach about this and I share this, and that is why being a client of mine, you get the inner sanctum. I don't share that publicly because that's something that my clients should only have access to as well. But feeling like I am free now to love and accept and be taken care of is something that is so was so foreign to me that I had to promise to myself to allow someone to take care of me all over again. I got to date my husband all over again. We got to create family memories all over again. Granted, it was chaos that led to that point and smooth sailing sort of after. But 2023 is so much more clearer now, so much more concise, so much more powerful, calmer, because we had to endure rough seas. And because I promised to take care of myself and promised to be present, it's allowed comfort, certainty, clarity as well. That's what's important, because we are all, when you strip it all back, we are all craving the same things. We are all craving love. So let me ask you, what are you craving? What is your partner craving? What do you want to feel? What do you feel like you are banging your head against because they're not understanding? Let me tell you this one little quirk. Whatever they are craving is probably what you are craving at the same time. You're both fighting the same battle. You're on the same team. It's just that the zigzags and the miscommunication in the middle is what is separating the two of you. And I'm going to bring a lot of our relationships to 2023 as I work with a few amazing women in the energetic space. We're going to do a lot of collaborations this year, and we're going to be really bringing that passion and presence, because I feel if you can prevent and you can recognize the faults within you and together, it makes such a difference. And that is why I'm a massive advocate for doing daily promises and why resolutions don't work. Because if you can promise to take care of you, you show people how you want to be taken care of, you have a better chance of mending the communication breakdown. You have a better chance of coming back together and not going back to where it used to be, because that won't exist anymore. Creating a new masterpiece that is just phenomenal and that just feels good and normal and safe. So how does that feel? How does that feel? Do you feel less overwhelmed? What are your 5 daily promises that you can do today that you can track for the next 28 days? What can you do today that by the 31st of January, you can say you did, and you can now do, and I now feel, and I now have, and I now want? Because once you start to mend the relationship with you, once you start to mend, whether it's money mindset, whether it is scarcity mindset, where it is abandonment, disappointment, rejection, inadequacies, once we start mending those little inadequacies that we have, we start to take the next steps forward and be a lot braver in what we want. And as a part of the Activated Woman, we do really do a deep dive into learning how to ask for more with grace, because I think it's great to be able to say, I'm amazing, thank you for what I have, but you can ask for more. And this is where I help women as well. So, ladies, as you're listening to this, I want you to make 5 daily promises that are going to support your mental, your physical, your spiritual health, that are going to allow you to dream, and that are going to allow you to not feel like it's another thing you have to do. Find a fun way to move your body. Break it down 4 times over the day. Don't do it all in one if you are really stressed and overwhelmed with time. Break it all down. Okay, make it really simple. Because once you start making it simple, it becomes easier. And when it becomes easy, it becomes fun. Okay, and then half the battle's done. So thank you for tuning in. I'm really excited to bring you season 2 of the Awakened Woman. And for those that have joined up and joining me for the Activated Woman, I'm really excited to be working with you as well. For those that may not have seen any information, please head over to the information in the podcast link. And make sure that you tell your friends, like, share, and tag me in any of your posts that you might find others will find solutions to as well. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to have you here, and I look forward to hearing you very soon. Enjoy.